And there it comes. The moment Christopher heard what his grandparents told police, his face said it all. The murderer revealed himself.
Well, hang tight right here. Young man.
Am I under arrest?
That you are.
When confronted with what his grandparents told the police, Christopher Martinez, the man responsible for killing his entire family, knew the lie was finished. The story he
So you
built
stabbed Caden. You stabbed your sister, took her into your mom's room, and then shot your mom.
No,
Okay.
no, that is not what, I didn't do that.
Well, she has no reason to lie to us. She said,
Why would I be mad at my brother?
The man in this video is Christopher Martinez, age 21, a suspect in the triple murder of his brother, sister, and mother. When brought into questioning, Chris tried to convince police officers he had no involvement in it. Little did he know that the police had already learned everything about his crime. It was 1:30 a.m. on December 10th, 2022, when Christopher Martinez called his grandmother. He had told her he had a bad dream, one where his mother, sister, and brother were all dead. She assumed it was nothing more than a nightmare. However, everything changed when Christopher appeared the following morning at their house in Firestone, Colorado, and showed a black .40 caliber handgun. The shot came when he pulled her to the side and said, "I think I killed my mom and sister. I think I hurt them." When the family didn't appear at lunch that day, the fear that something bad had actually happened became even stronger. Christopher and his grandparents called the police for a welfare check on the family. From the outside, the house looked untouched, no signs of trouble. So the three of them decided to find out what was going on for themselves. Inside the home in Aurora, where Christopher's family recently moved in, they walked into a scene of devastation. Christopher's brother, Caden Castaneda, 18, and his sister, Marisol Espindola, 18, had been stabbed to death, while their mother, Estancia Martinez, 41, had been shot in the head. Christopher's nightmare wasn't a dream, it was a memory. But the footage you're about to see tells a whole different story, one where Christopher attempts to hide his heinous crime without the slightest sign of guilt.
So, Christopher, I just got it. Since you've been here for a while and it's taken us a long time to get and talk to you and everything like this, and you haven't been able to go anywhere or anything like that, I just want to go over some legal stuff with you real quick, okay? You understand everything we're talking about right now? You understand that's no problem? You speak English okay and all that kind of stuff? All right, sir. So it's kind of one of the questions. Do you understand English?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And you can read English?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, and you can read this along with me if you like. I'm just going to read upside down. Okay. It says you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay. The next one says you have the right to talk to an attorney prior to questioning and to have your attorney present during questioning if you so desire. Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay, thank you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you free of charge prior to questioning. Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay, and you understand all the rights as I explained those to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I said it's just to protect you and everything. And having those rights in mind, you want to talk to us right now about what happened tonight?
That's fine.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, not really, but it's going to have to happen.
Well, I mean, it's a question do you want to, we want to talk and hear what your story is and see what happened. Are you good with that?
No, yeah, it's fine. It's hard to talk about. I was like the first to see.
All right. Can you try to speak up a little bit for me? Just because we're recording, okay? All right. So what I need for you to do is just sign right here for me, okay? And it's just saying you understand everything I just explained to you.
Although the detective read him his rights, Christopher shows no signs of distress. He sits casually and speaks calmly, as if he doesn't fully grasp the weight of what is happening. Or he does, but has a story prepared that he believes would set him free. He's too confident in his plan that he doesn't even request an attorney. Instead, he dives into his version of events, assuring that it will clear his name. However, there was something in his story that simply didn't sit right.
Why don't you just tell us what happened, however you want to start and talk to us, whatever. You just tell us everything that you want to tell us, then we'll ask questions from there. Sound fair? Okay.
So after work Friday, I picked up my brother. Don't necessarily remember what time I got off. I'd say around 5-ish. Went to go pick him up. I stopped by a liquor store to get some alcohol. We went back to my house. I took 2 shots maybe. We had KFC before we ate. I don't know. We took a couple shots and we were smoking and just kind of hanging out, and later throughout the night, me and my mom kind of got into a little dispute about how messy my room was because we had just moved in and I should know how to keep my room clean, and she wanted me to make sure everything was done and laundry was done and clean and everything. And so I told her I'd just go do my laundry tonight, and she said, okay. And then after I left around 12:30, 1 o'clock, I tried calling them just to say that I was going to stay the night in Colorado Springs because it just makes more sense. And they didn't answer, so I kind of took it as to, okay, maybe they just went to bed. It was pretty late already. Everybody looked tired. Maybe they just went to bed. So I went to Springs. I threw in a load of laundry in the washer. I fell asleep, and when I woke up, I put the laundry back in the dryer. And then my grandma had called somewhere in between that and asked when I was going to be there. And I said I didn't know because I was doing my laundry, but I wanted to go early because I missed them. And they're like, okay. So I told my grandma when I left. It was about 8 o'clock when she called or something. And she's like, okay. And I was on my way down, and she said, she texted me and asked me where I was, and I was like, what, what's up? And she's like, we're gonna go see Aunt Cece. So I was like, okay, I'll be there in like maybe an hour or so. She said, okay. And I went to my grandma's, to my aunt's house. I went to go see my Aunt Cece with them. I went to lunch with them, and we were calling them. My grandma was calling my mom and texting her. We couldn't get a hold of her. I don't tend to worry too much because I know how she is. She doesn't answer for long periods of time because she's either working, in a meeting, on a call, whatever the case may be. And she said that she had a job that day. So I was like, okay, I just chalk it up to her not having her phone or not being in the truck. And then we got back from Longmont. After Lafayette, we went to Longmont. And then around 2 o'clock, we left Longmont. Got back at around 2:30, 3 o'clock, and everybody started showing up around 4. We were cooking and whatnot, getting everything ready. And everybody started getting more and more worried, and we did the wellness check. They said that they couldn't go in the house because it looked to be okay, and there wasn't no reason to be going in the house. So that's when we came out, and I don't know, we say we got there maybe 7 o'clock, somewhere around there, I'm not 100% sure. And we seen the garage door was open, and when we seen the garage door was open, Jordan said, maybe we should just run in. And I was like, okay, might as well. So we went into the garage. Everybody was in there at the point. I had kicked open the door and hit the light switch with my elbow, and there was nothing in the basement. We walked upstairs, and my brother was in the chair where he last was when I left, and he had the blanket over him, so I didn't see the blood on his hand or on the chair until after I got close enough. And after I seen it was him, I thought, where's my mom and my sister? I ran upstairs and I seen my mom shot in the head and my sister laying behind her, and that's when my grandpa came and pulled me away.
What stands out in Christopher's statement is a near-perfect exposure of the timeline of events that places him far away from the crime scene. It sounds like he prepared himself thoroughly for the interrogation. His answers come quickly. His tone is flat. He speaks without hesitation, detailing his movements almost down to the minute. It's convincing, almost too convincing. But what's most unsettling about it is Christopher's complete absence of emotion. There are no cracks in his voice, no signs of shock, grief, or disbelief as he discusses the murders of his brother, sister, and mother, people he lived with. Not even when describing how he found their bodies. For someone whose family has just been wiped out, Christopher remains strangely serene. Behind that calm voice, there's something very disturbing, and the detectives can sense it.
Can you give us just a couple more minutes? I'll be right back, I promise you. Sorry.
We'll be right back, all right?
Technical difficulties. Give us a second.
The detectives clearly have doubts about the story they just heard. They leave the room, leaving Christopher alone for a couple of minutes. This is a standard police procedure that allows officers to review the suspect's statement, compare notes, and plan the following questioning strategies. In this case, it also gives Christopher some time to sit with his story. Alone in the interrogation room, he now has a choice, either to continue with his story upon the detective's return, or to devise a new strategy. The detectives return to the room. Now it's their move. The trap is about to be set.
All right, Chris, sorry about that, man. We're still doing okay?
Do you need some water, or you still got some?
Still got some? All right. Sorry about that. Our boss texted us, we had to fix up. Everything's good.
Chris, let me ask you, did you grow up here in Colorado?
Yeah.
Down in the Springs or up here in the metro area?
I was born in Longmont. I lived there for a little bit. We kind of moved all over Colorado, to be honest with you. It was Longmont, Lafayette, or Louisville, then Commerce City. We lived with my grandparents a couple times. That was in Dacono before they left to Texas.
Who? Everybody lived with your grandparents?
No, not everybody lived there. Me and my mom did.
Oh, okay. How long ago was that?
It was a long time ago.
A long time ago?
Yeah, I think I was maybe 16 the last time they lived with them. Maybe.
Where'd you go to school?
High school, middle school. High school, middle school was kind of the same. It was Halcyon. It was a middle high school.
Oh, okay. Where was that at?
There. It was in Boulder.
Oh, okay.
Did you graduate?
No, I didn't.
What grade did you finish?
I finished up to 11.
11th. How come you didn't finish school? Just curious.
I was in a treatment facility. So when my mom pulled me, I had like 5 or 6 credits left to graduate. And instead of graduating and staying, I decided to leave.
Okay. What kind of treatment facility were you in, if you don't mind me asking?
It was behavioral, but it was for behavioral, drugs, promiscuity, pretty much the whole spectrum of everything.
Okay. How long were you in that program for?
14 months.
Did it help?
Except for helping me stop smoke weed, I feel like it helped me quite a bit, even the short amount of time that I was there.
And then after high school, since you didn't graduate, what'd you do?
I just
after
started
that?
working.
Where'd you work at?
I worked with my dad for a while. He does flooring.
Okay.
So I did that for a while, and then after that, I went to Integrity, which was with my mom.
Okay.
I got certified through Labor Max to Flag, and then I moved over to Integrity. And then I've been there for 3 years on and off. I went to another company called ESI and came back to Integrity after that.
Your mom's been there for a while, right?
She's been there for a good while, yeah.
And she's, what, a manager there?
She's dispatch right now.
Okay.
She's one of the big bosses, I could say, honestly.
Okay. All right. I'm just curious. I wanted to get to know a little bit about you and see where you're coming from. I know you kind of went through your, what happened with all of this stuff, and it sounds like it was pretty terrifying to go in there and see all of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you can think of that you might have missed?
Not that I can think of, no.
Is there any buddy or any reason to think anybody would want to do this to your family?
Not to my family, no. We had just moved there like a week ago. Nobody really knew we were there. They knew we were back in Denver, but nobody knew where we were.
How's your relationship with Caden?
Great.
He's
my brother.
your stepbrother, right?
He's my little brother.
Your little brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, our relationship is great. We love hanging out with each other.
Does Caden live with you guys?
No, he was just there visiting. Like I had said, I had picked him up after work,
Okay.
and that was from Mike's house.
Has he not stayed at your new house before, or has
No,
he been,
that was the
that
first
was the first
time.
time he'd been over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you said Friday, you picked up some alcohol and stuff like that. So that was like Friday night going into Saturday morning.
No, that was Friday night right after I had picked up my brother.
So you said you picked him up around what, 5?
I want to say 5 o'clock, yeah.
And you guys just
I don't necessarily remember what time I
No,
got
that's
off
fine.
work. I want
But
to
then
say
you guys went to your house and just hung out all night. Okay. Who else was there?
just my mom and my sister.
Okay.
I asked my mom if her boyfriend was coming over, but she said no. So
And what were you guys doing? Just chilling?
just chilling. My brother rolled a couple blunts. I poured us some shots, and it was just a chill night. Nothing really went sideways at all.
Was it just the two of you guys drinking?
It was me, my sister, and him. My sister took a sip and kind of like spit it out because it was nasty.
What were you drinking?
Patron silver.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Yeah.
Warm?
No.
It was chilled?
It was chilled, yeah. But yeah, she had that little sip, and then I had 2. Caden probably had like 3 or 4, maybe.
No arguments or fights?
Except for the
house?
little dispute that me and my mom had, nothing.
So when did that happen? Was that after a couple hours after you guys have been drinking and hanging out, or
I would say so. It happened around 11 o'clock that she actually like started to get on me about it.
and it was about your room being,
And it was about my room and how messy I was being and how I need to stop and all that.
which room is yours in the house?
The small square one to the right, the first bedroom.
So is it upstairs or
Upstairs.
Upstairs?
Yeah.
And whose were the other? I haven't been in the house, so I don't know. So if you go up the stairs,
So if you go up the stairs, it's my room, a bathroom, my sister's room, and my mom's room.
now when you say it was just a little argument, I mean, yelling and screaming.
Oh
or-
no, nothing at all like that. It was more like mentoring, I guess. I can't really think of the word right now, but she was getting on my ass about it, but she wasn't being rude. She was being more mom-like. Like, you just need to stop being messy, kid.
Okay. That make you mad or?
No, not at all. I'm a messy kid. I'll be the first to admit it. I'm a messy kid. My room's always a mess.
Right. That's pretty common.
So it's nothing.
My
that I
mom
can
used to
get
get on
angry
me all
for.
the time for that too.
Right.
Yeah.
So after that happened, you had a little bit of an argument. Did you go back to chilling and drinking and smoking?
Well, I went down and I finished the rest of the joint that I rolled. And then I went upstairs to talk to my mom, and I was like, I'll just gather a bunch of stuff right now and I'll go wash it in Springs. And she's like, okay, do what you need to do.
Do you guys not have a washer here?
No, we don't have a washer and dryer yet. They were actually at Rena Center, I want to say maybe 2 days ago, looking at washer and dryers.
So do you guys have your own washer and dryer at the place?
At the place in Springs, yeah, it came fitted with one.
Okay. Do you guys still have a bunch of stuff in that apartment?
Not a bunch of stuff. It's more like miscellaneous shit, pictures and whatnot.
Do you have a bed there?
No, I used whatever blankets I had when I was there.
Okay.
All our beds were the first thing moved.
All right. So you gathered up, how much clothes do you think you gathered up?
Probably just enough to last the week.
Was it just your clothes or was
Yeah, it was just
okay,
my
so
clothes. It was like work clothes and pajamas and shit like
Okay.
that.
So you gathered your clothes up. What time do you think that was at?
Between 12 and 1:30 when I left, because it really didn't take me that long, honestly. It was just throwing stuff into a basket.
Okay. And then Was everybody awake when you left?
Everybody was awake when I left. My brother looked like he was about to fall asleep, so I just kind of left him there.
So where was your brother at when you left?
He was on the chair when I left.
And then where was your mom and sister at?
They were upstairs. I don't know which rooms they were in, but they were upstairs. I kind of just yelled and said, I'll be back tomorrow.
Okay. You know if they were asleep or the lights on? Was it
No,
dark?
the lights were on. The hall light was on. And then I left my light on accident.
Okay. And then when you left, did you go out the front? Did you go out the garage?
I went out the front and jumped in my truck.
Okay. And what kind of truck do you have?
It's a big Dodge Ram with a flatbed. And it has a bunch of equipment for my work on it.
Okay, so it's a work truck?
Yeah.
So you drove that down to the Springs?
Yeah, that's the only ride I have right now because my actual car is in Springs and we haven't had time to go and get it.
Okay. What's your other car?
Dodge Caliber.
You had that for a while?
I'd say the better part of a couple of years, yeah.
I had a Dodge Caliber. It wasn't a very good car.
It's not great. It's not the greatest. I'm not going to lie.
So you said about 1:30 you left?
Between 12 and 1. Yeah.
Okay.
12:30 and 1 I left, yeah.
And then how long did it take you to get down to the Springs, do you think?
I would say maybe 45 minutes, 50 at most.
Okay.
Because there was like no traffic.
And then what did you do when you got to the Springs?
Well, on my way to the Springs, I had called my mom to tell her that I was going to stay the night over there just so she wouldn't worry. And then they didn't answer. So I was already 20 minutes down the road, 20 minutes gone maybe. And I was like, okay, maybe they just fell asleep. I'll call back in the morning. So that's what I did is I called back in the morning, still no answer.
Okay. Did you just call your mom or did you call your sister?
I called my mom and my sister.
Did you try calling Caden?
No, I didn't. I thought his phone would be off because honestly, every time he's with me, he just lets his phone die.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily always try it when he's with me. When I've seen him, I usually just call people that I know would be around him.
Okay, so you got to the Springs, let's just say 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah. So what I did was I walked in and I threw a load of laundry in. And basically all that's to it. I threw a load of laundry in. I went and laid out a couple blankets to lay down and I passed out.
Christopher Martinez remains fully cooperative in order to maintain his position as an innocent suspect. He leans into the casual atmosphere the detectives have created, but is focused and definitely well prepared for the conversation. Every response is detailed and aimed at reinforcing one point. He wasn't there. However, there's something Christopher seems to forget. The fact that he had already confessed to his grandmother he was the one who murdered his family. Because of this, the story he constructed is about to collapse. Lies do tend to crack under pressure.
Did you call anybody else?
No. I called and talked to my grandma a little bit, but she was asleep, so that didn't last very long.
Okay. What time do you think you called your grandma?
I'm not even sure.
Were you already in the Springs?
No, I was in my truck for sure, but I'm not sure about what time. Probably after I tried to call my mom and sister.
Okay. So you were still driving when you called
Yeah.
your grandma? Why'd you call your grandma?
I missed them and I knew they were here. Probably wasn't the best time to call them, but
Yeah. People don't tend to answer the phone at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. But she picked up, right?
yeah.
What'd you guys talk about?
I was just telling her what was going on and she's like, oh, you're going to be okay, son. Like, it's not a big thing.
What do you mean, what was going on?
Like with mom, because, yeah, it irritated me a little bit, but like, that's the normal stuff that happens between a mom and son. You argue, you get over it. It is what it is. And she's like, son, you guys do this. It is what it is. You'll find a way to deal with it and make up and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Didn't last very long, but
How long do you think you talked to your grandma for?
maybe a minute or two.
Is that normal for you to
Oh, yeah.
call your grandma? You talk
Yeah.
to her a lot?
Yeah, my grandma is my favorite person in the world almost.
Yeah. How often do you talk to your grandma in a week?
Well, since they're in Texas now and I'm working 24/7, probably about once a week I try to call, but
That's still pretty good. How many times have you seen them since they got back here?
just the once.
The once?
Yeah,
Okay.
just today or yesterday.
When did they fly in?
I want to say Friday
So they just
or
got here.
Thursday, something like that.
And they're staying with your aunt?
My Aunt Brenda, yeah.
in Firestone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you go up there today?
Yeah. That's where I went after I was in Springs.
What time did you go up there?
I got there at around 9:15 because I was on my way and my grandma asked how far I was away and she said they're leaving at 9:15. So I got there around then. They were about to leave.
You guys just hanging out?
Yeah, we went to go see my aunt and my uncles and stuff. My aunt's in a nursing home in Lafayette, so we went to go see her. And my aunt brought her some books and then we went to lunch.
Sorry to jump back here. So you, after you washed your, did you dry your clothes too?
Yeah. I ended up drying them in the morning because I fell asleep.
Okay. So what time do you think you fell asleep?
Maybe 3 o'clock.
And then
Something
what time
like
did you
that.
get up?
About 7, maybe 6.
So you didn't get very much. Is that normal for you though?
Honestly, yeah, I don't sleep very well.
Okay.
So,
Is there a reason?
no,
Yeah.
honestly, I honestly don't know the reason. If I don't fall asleep before 11, I usually just won't sleep at all. And it's just the way my body works, because if I fall asleep, then I won't wake up at all for work or nothing like that. So I try to get to bed before 11.
So you got a couple hours of sleep, and then did you call your grandparents?
No, they called me.
Okay.
Yeah, she called me and she's like, so what's going on? And I'm like, I don't know. I want to come and see you guys because you guys are already here. So I'm going to come a bit early. And mom has a job in the morning. She told me last night she had a job to go take some signs and cones to. So I was like, okay. And I headed over there after I got all my clothes put back in my basket and fixed and got there about 9:15, like I said.
It wasn't until the detective steered the conversation toward his grandmother that Christopher began to show signs of insecurity. At this point, his almost perfect story begins to show cracks. His timeline starts to blur. He smiles nervously and rocks his chair back and forth. The detectives have set the trap, and now he's caught. His carefully crafted story is starting to crumble under pressure. As the interrogation continues, Christopher reaches for one last card up his sleeve.
I'm just going to throw this out there. So we've obviously talked to some of your other family members about what happened and all of that other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's anything that any of the people that came down, or your grandma, or your grandpa, would have told us anything different about what might have happened?
Not that I know of.
That's what you know of.
No.
You go by Christopher or Chris?
Chris.
Okay. It's okay if I call you Chris? You say your grandma is like your favorite person in the world?
Yeah.
Kind of like helped raise you when you were younger and stuff. Is there any reason you think she would tell us something that wouldn't be truthful?
I'm not sure.
I mean, what's your gut say?
No.
So Chris, big moment in your life right now. Okay? Huge moment in your life.
Okay.
We talked to your grandmother. She told us about your phone call at 1:30 in the morning. Okay? We just want you to tell us the truth about what you guys talked about. You know, if something bad happened. Did you talk to her about having a bad dream?
Yeah, I always have bad dreams.
Okay.
Bad dreams are normal for
Did
me.
you tell her what happened?
No. Just said I had a bad dream about the family and
What was the dream about?
I didn't remember. That's why I said I just had a bad dream about the family and she told me it's just a dream and you'll be okay. And I was like, you're right.
And this is why you're driving?
Yeah.
So would that phone call be on record on your cell phone?
I'd assume so, yeah.
Does your phone have a passcode, or is it face?
Yeah, it's face, it's both.
It's both?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you mind giving us the passcode? What is that? Oh, it's only 4?
Yeah.
What is it, an iPhone?
Yes.
What model do you know?
11?
They usually have 6 digits.
Oh, yeah, you can change it from 6 to 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if we went and looked at that You think that phone call is only going to be like a minute long?
I'd probably say so. It's about how long I remember it being, maybe 3 minutes tops. I don't know.
Okay. Chris, like Troy was saying, man, this is your time to get anything you want off your chest.
Okay.
Okay?
Meaning,
Do you know why I'm telling you this?
no, I don't.
Okay. Because there's information that we have and that we know that you're not telling us.
What do you mean? I'm telling you everything that I remember.
Let me ask you this. Do you ever have any moments in your life, not saying so much tonight or last night, you ever have times where like things happen and you don't remember them?
It hasn't happened in a long time.
Okay, when you say that, what do you mean?
I don't know how to expand on that. It just hasn't happened in a long time. The last time it happened, it was pretty fucking bad. I ended up in the hospital. I was freaking out. I didn't remember 90% of it.
Can you tell me more about that?
Hospitalized for hallucinations and auditory hallucinations that I still see.
When did that happen?
Started happening. That event happened when I was about 13 or 14, I think.
Did you go to a hospital?
I went to a hospital. I went to an ER and I was checked into.
Do you know which ER you went to?
What's that?
Do you know which ER you went to?
It was in Louisville, I think, because at that time that's where we lived.
Okay. The
It was
big
either Louisville
hospital,
or
up,
Lafayette.
the newer one up there?
A Vista, I think it was.
Okay.
Now that he realizes the police know more than he was telling them, Christopher plays his final card. He suddenly claims he may have blacked out. Convenient, now that his lies are unraveling. His prior medical record seems to support the claim. Yet the detectives are not done. They have more unpleasant things to confront him with. The wall is closing in. There's nowhere left to run. And finally, he slips.
Chris, it's a little concerning. Your grandma told us some very specific details and things that you told her about what happened at your house.
I mean, what? I seen all of it. I walked in and I seen my mom and my sister.
Okay.
And
I'm talking about the phone call that you had with her at 1:30 in the morning.
while I was on the way to do my stuff.
Yes.
What about it? What about it?
And there it comes. The moment Christopher heard what his grandparents told police, his face said it all. The murderer revealed himself.
Well, hang tight right here. Young man.
Am I under arrest?
That you are.
When confronted with what his grandparents told the police, Christopher Martinez, the man responsible for killing his entire family, knew the lie was finished. The story he built so carefully collapsed under the weight of the truth. 2 years after the murders, on October 21st, 2024, Christopher Martinez pled guilty to 3 counts of second-degree murder. As part of a plea agreement, the remaining charges were dismissed. Christopher was sentenced on January 3rd, 2025 to 120 years in prison. Behind him, he left a trace of death, an entire family wiped out in one night. To this day, no one fully understands why Christopher did what he did. He and Caden's father, Mike Castaneda, still finds it difficult to cope with the tragedy that befell him. He's torn between the memory of the son he raised and the killer he became. "I hate this situation so bad," he said. "You want to see the person who did you wrong be punished, but hate to see the punishment go to who it's going to."